All right, guys, day 3, time to finish this week's lesson up. All righty, remember this week we talked about normal schools, which are schools that teach teachers, land-grant colleges, which are colleges that focus on agriculture and industry, and we talked about Booker T. Washington and Margaret Murray Washington and their role in the education world. All right, Patty Ruffner Jacobs. So by 1900, women around the country started to vote, but not in Alabama. Men thought women would neglect their responsibilities at home if they were given the right to vote. So, Patty Ruffner Jacobs disagreed with that and started the Birmingham Equal Suffrage, which suffrage just means the right to vote, association in 1911. She was also president of the National American Women's Association. Let me move my picture over here so you can see this picture. All right, that picture says women suffragists busy peeling potatoes when not getting votes. So Jacobs led women from all across the country in making speeches, writing articles, and marching in parades to push for their right to vote. Now, mind you, they're not pushing for something crazy. Women all across the country are already voting. Just in Alabama, they weren't. It took until 1920 for women in Alabama to be allowed to vote. So in Alabama, women have only been allowed to vote for 100 years. That's it. That's crazy, right? All right, when did women get the right to vote? So women fought for the right to vote for years, for a very long time. Voting was and still is a very important way for citizens of the United States to be involved in running the country, and women have worked really hard from the beginning to make this country great. Finally, in 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, which means it was officially signed into law, giving women across the country the right to vote, including in Alabama. So the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, it says the right of the citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on the account of sex. So whether you are a woman or a man, it did not matter. You had the right to vote. And that means that it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman and you can vote. And that is the most important. So by 1920, men and women, both African American and white, had the right to vote. So last year was 2020, guys. That means for only 100 years, all American citizens have had the right to vote. That's really crazy when you think about it. 100 years in terms of history is not that long. So it's pretty cool. All right, guys, that is it. That wraps it up for this week. Make sure you are checking your folders for assignments. You will have a quiz on this week tomorrow. Make sure you go back through these PowerPoints if you need to before then. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and have a wonderful weekend.